Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian. Welcome you back to the Out of the Park Baseball 2021. No, just 21. That's right. Series tour through history with the Brooklyn Bridegrooms. We're trying to make it with the Bridegrooms despite a pretty terrible past season. But we're starting to build a pretty impressive team led by our most recent draft picks, Hugh Duffy and Ed McKean. Ed McKean in particular seems like a great franchise cornerstone. He wasn't the best at shortstop, but again, no one really was at this time. And as things get better, we may decide to move him to first. Oh no, we did move him to first base, didn't we? Because he wasn't as good as shortstop. And then we've got Hugh Duffy out in center field. I'm pretty excited about the abilities that both players can bring to the table. But we need a couple more franchise cornerstones, I think, to truly have a chance at success. So, let us advance to the announcement of the draft pool and see who we can look forward to. Now, we're the number one pick. So any one of these players that suits our fancy can be ours. Have we gotten a gift from the gods? Did the people that drafted Ed Delahanty last season not sign him? Interesting. I mean, we do need a new left fielder, and as nice as Piggy Ward is, he's a pretty far away from being an elite player. Oh. I mean, Ed Delahanty is pretty clearly the best possible player we could have here. And it looks like no good pitchers are... No, I take it back. Jack Stevens is in here as a pitcher. But he's got terrible control. Like, we can probably get a decent to average starter. How many starting pitchers actually are there? There's only a few, including Amos Russi, who is actually a Hall of Famer. You know what? I'm going to ask for a scouting report on all of the starting pitchers and see if I can get some more information about them. I mean, if we're talking like raw talent, it's pretty clearly Ed Delahanty, and I don't think there's any other choice in terms of raw talent. I mean, that does create the issue of Piggy Ward. What am I going to do with him? He's still plenty talented. We could upgrade a catcher, but meh. Delahanty, though. I guess my biggest concern then would be what we do with Piggy Ward and Tommy McCarthy, because right now we've got... We'd have one too many outfielders, and I suppose we could always trade one of these players, like ship Piggy Ward over to right, and then let Tommy McCarthy get traded for some other position. I mean, we're obviously going to do our due diligence on the pitchers, but I just don't see any of those pitchers being game-breaking enough to spend the first overall pick on them. Alright, well, Mike Sullivan is hot garbage, so at least I know that much. I mean, I kind of already knew that. Jack Stevens is also an amazing hitter. We do need an ace. Can I pass on a game change on an offensive talent like Ed Delahanty to take a pitcher? Who's not like a strikeout machine or anything. There's also Amos Russi, who I might be able to grab in the second round, but probably not. So here I guess is the $1 million question, right? We've got Burt Cunningham, who had a pretty okay season last year. We've got Denny Driscoll, again pretty okay, and we've got Guy Hecker, once again pretty okay. None of my starters are very good. But I also have Cinders O'Brien sitting here in the minors. And he'd be a massive upgrade. I've got Charles Zimmer, who is potentially an upgraded catcher. I have some decent minor league talent. Can I trade Lefty Marr and get a starter? I could get Bill Stearns from the Columbus Solons. I mean, he would be better than some of the pitchers I've already got. I think I will make this trade. I mean, I can see if he'd give me someone else. Oh, it's my old pal. There's Adonis Terry. Can I get him? No. No. I tried. But I actually would not mind at all grabbing a pitcher like Stearns or even Tommy Bond. No, he wouldn't give me Tommy Bond. I guess I understand that. Bill Stearns would go a fair piece to stabilizing my rotation, even if it wouldn't be enough by itself. Could I get Jack Farrell too, I wonder? Like, I know that Jack Farrell's not a great player, but I don't need greatness. I need goodness at second base, which I don't have. Would you give me both of them? He needs to think about it. I will submit this offer. I might as well take advantage of knowing certain players, right? Because Joseph Herr is actually pretty decent. I was not paying attention to that part. Uh-oh. Oh, well. If maybe you'll get lucky and they'll decline. And even if they... Yeah, they declined it. Can Farrell play short? He can't. Who do you guys have as short again? You have Bill Gleason. You're probably not going to give him to me, are you? What would I have to offer you to get Gleason to? I mean... No, I don't think I can do that part. So here's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to make sure that I have a... So let me add Denny Driscoll, because I'm not going to want him. What if I added Tommy McCarthy? I can't give you Guy Hecker because I need a third starter. Oh no, I already have 3 starters. This would be a pretty massive deal, I do acknowledge. But here's what it does. It stabilizes the rotation for now, and it lets me take De La Hanty as my #1 overall pick, who will more than replace Tommy McCarthy. And I'm getting rid of basically things I don't need anymore. Man. The fans aren't going to like losing McCarthy. And I guess I feel kind of bad about that, but he's also fairly limited as a player. Like, look at the difference in these last 2 seasons. If he's not hitting for average, he's not hitting that well. So I'm going to make this deal. I'm going to pull the trigger. And I'm going to hope that getting Stearns and Gleason will make people happier. Who is my current shortstop? I don't remember them being that exciting. Henry Easterday is a wonderful shortstop, but he's not a very good hitter. All right. Mr. Ward, I'm going to shift you... Actually, I guess I'll wait till I see if I get Delahanty or not. And then I'll change positions as I need to. But I'm going to go ahead and also tell my scout not to bother scouting those other people. I think we're making the right call. I think you always have to go with... I think you always have to go with the best talent with the number 1 overall draft pick. And this will give us the kind of outfield that other teams would salivate over. I feel pretty good about that. And we've massively upgraded our bats at shortstop. What did we win for? Ed McCain as a shortstop. He'll be a better first baseman. I don't want to... He obviously wasn't a very good shortstop. No. I have plans, so please stop offering me right fielders. I get what you're looking at. You're like, oh my god, what an idiot. How can he leave such a giant weakness? Did I not win a Rookie of the Year? Given the insane year both of my players had? Phil Tomney. Oh, right, I'm in the NL, aren't I? Derp, derp, derp. Really? Fucking Sliding Billy? Man, whatever, dude. I feel ripped off. But, I mean, I guess I can argue with war like that. But, man, that's weapons-grade balonium. I disapprove. What happened is my players split the vote, and I think I would have had a much more competitive deal if I had been a bit more conservative. Oh well. I don't want Tom Porman. Believe me, I'm getting an outfielder. Just wait patiently, please. Hey, Cinders O'Brien won the Cy Young equivalent for AAA. Good for him. Absolutely not. I'm not gutting my farm system for a bad pitcher. Like, come on, Cleveland Spiders. I know you're destined to be the worst team in the history of the major leagues, but... Come on, my dude. Is it another right field proposal? It is. Please stop. Trust me, right field is being handled. You just don't know it yet. Hall of Fame voting. Is there anyone here I would definitely vote for the Hall of Fame? Dick McBride is awfully close to someone I would consider a Hall of Famer in this era. So, because we're so early on in the majors, we're so early on, it's hard to argue whether certain people should or shouldn't be in the Hall. There's also Al Pratt, who also looks like a pretty decent choice. I think I'm going to vote for Dick McBride. And I think that's probably it. Because the rest of these guys just aren't very good. And I don't want to clog the early Hall of Fame with just enormous numbers of starting pitchers that actually aren't all that great. Like, I mean, Ezra Sutton's fine, I guess, but I'm certainly not going to vote for him. Let's try to keep the Hall nice and small, right? I mean, Al Pratt, maybe. You know what? I'm going to vote for Al Pratt, too. But I'm just going to vote for those two. I'm not going to vote for anyone else. It's draft day. Let's do it. Alright, we're number 1 overall. Has anything changed to convince me to take anyone other than Delahanty? Like, he's a bit raw. I acknowledge that. And I'll probably would want to acquire some kind of right fielder to fill the gap for a bit. But he's so overall good. I mean, what I'm gonna do, Big Bug Holiday, just because he hits for power. I've already got a guy like that. This is an on-base machine. Nope. I'm wasting my time. Gimme. Alright. Next draft pick here. I have Jimmy Mcaleer, who is a decent center fielder, but doesn't have much else to recommend him. I have Tom Gettinger rather, who has a pretty decent offensive profile, but we're still in the dead ball era, and I don't like players who can't hit for a lot of contact. I have John Pickett, who plays 3 positions badly. I have Dan Shannon, who plays 2 positions badly. I mean, none of these players really speak to me. I'd almost rather keep a first-round pick. Like, I just take, like, Mcaleer at random and then just not sign him so that I have another second-round pick next year. Parka Schwartzel, sure, you've got a cool name. And then I'm going to go ahead and sim the rest of this draft. Okay, time to negotiate. Let's get ourselves a Delahanty. I'm not going to sign Mcaleer. I will sign... No, I'm not even going to sign anyone else, really. I might sign Charlie Bell. He looks decent. Not, like, amazing or anything, but decent at least. Alright. Let's advance to the Rule 5 draft. And you're going to give me this giant package of players that I just don't want. Like, why? Why would I ever, for 1/10 of 1 second, consider this deal? Like, come on. It's all about Delahanty, yo. And he has accepted the offer. Great. I'm definitely going to let both O'Brien and Delahanty play in spring training, but I'm not going to commit to either one of them. Is there a decent right fielder I could take for a season? I said decent, George Fields. You are not. Alright, I'm just going to skip all this. I don't need any of these terrible players. I lost John Ward. I don't even know who John Ward is. He's a reasonably good relief pitcher. Okay. Whatevs. Any Hall of Famers? Al Pratt and McBride both got elected. I'm fine with that as kind of like baselines for this is what I want to see in a great pitcher. I think either of those are worthy. And if they don't compete statistically with modern pitchers, or even pitchers in like the mid-20th century, that's not their fault. Stop offering me these players. Stop. Like, I know this is happening, right? Ooh, I could get Pud Galvin. How has he turned out in the major leagues? Pretty badly. This is a man who went over 300 games in the majors, and here he hasn't even been a starter for that long. You're kind of intriguing. You might become a starter, maybe. But I'm not giving you Jumbo Davis. I need a good third baseman. And he is a good third baseman who's not even starting? Why is he not starting? I don't get it. Why would I ever have started Jumbo or Jimmy Knowles over Jumbo? Was Jumbo just hitting badly last season? He was hitting pretty badly. I probably need to give him another chance. He has increased my budget, but he's cut my player budget because he's a dick. What a dick. The Bill Stearns gets a bit worse, and again, I'm okay with that. I'm not expecting him to be a billion-dollar pitcher. What I'm expecting is, I don't expect you to get worse, Mr. Bond. I expect you to improve. I know that didn't make any sense, but that's okay. Very few things do make sense. That was a no-brainer for me. Neither of those players are very good. Good old Pud Galvin lost 30 pounds. That's pretty neat. All right, spring training. O'Brien and Delahanty, you both get invites. Manager dude, set the managing. Go ahead and set up the pitching. And then let's sim through spring training. Interesting player development changes. Al Mull got a bit better. Ed Fuller got a lot better, actually. McKenna's getting better at power, a bit worse at contact. Joseph Herr is Joseph Herr. Bill Gleason got a little bit better. Delahanty's contact improved. That's all fine. Look, here's the thing, right? If Delahanty isn't ready for the majors, I'm not calling him up. I'm going to let him play in AAA. Because I can very easily just grab someone and say, you, play outfield. I'm sure you can figure it out. And then I'm just going to pick today. There we go. So I've got 28 players on my roster. I will happily let Bones Ely play left field for a season if it means letting Delahanty keep improving. Because I don't want to rush him. Same for Cinders here. And then we can make Egyptian Healy a starter again. To be my third starter. Why are all this crap on the OSA ratings? It's like, what do you think I pay a scouting director for? That's whose opinion I want, not OSA's. The hell does OSA know? Oh, I need a AAA hitting coach. Or pitching coach, rather. Mike Riggs, you can do it. You can do it all night long. Uh-huh. And then I'll just hire this Bobby Kirkendall guy. I'm sure he's fine. Okay. So I'm not going to keep O'Brien or Delahanty. That seems fine. And everyone else here can stay. How did Bill Gleason do defensively last season? He's been really good, despite his ridiculous number of errors. But again, era. So I think we'll probably have Easter Day as a backup shortstop / defensive replacement. Because he can't hit that well. Alright, opening day, please. I wouldn't mind one more first overall pick. Stearns got better. I don't know how a guy as old as he does got better, but I'll still take it. Burt Cunningham got a bit worse. That's kind of sad, but whatever. Joseph Herr got better. Ed De La Hanty made a couple of significant improvements, but I'm not going to rush him. And I now have the #1 prospect in Major League Baseball, as I should. All right, Mr. Healy, you're my new 3rd starter. And I'm going to go ahead and just rebuild these lineups because, to be frank, I kind of don't care all that much. Which maybe makes you seem like a jerk, but I think we'll be fine as long as... Yeah. This is all wonderful. I don't mind you actually playing Zimmer a bit in the majors. I don't think we necessarily need 3 catchers, but I guess there's also worse choices. I am actually going to let Jumbo start against right-handed pitching. That is the only change I will make. Wait, what? Did I screw up? I did. Yeah, I almost put the wrong person in charge there. Yikes. Yeah, Jumbo Davis is actually going to start against right-handed pitching. He's a better hitter. And if we look at last season's stats, what does it look like if I just look at him hitting right-handers? He's still pretty bad, but maybe he'll figure that out this season. This is a pretty good lineup. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a pretty darn good lineup that offers us with a lot of flexibility. It's not elite, but it's pretty good. And I'm certainly willing to let it ride for a season while De La Hanty and O'Brien both try to figure out how to play this game of Major League Baseball that we all love so much. Why? Oh, I can only have 25 players. Hines, guess who's gone? It's you. I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can get a decent prospect for you. No. You know what, Clarence Stevens? You're terrible. I don't want Clarence Stevens. I'll take Hans Gruber, though, here. There we go. I'm trading a 3rd catcher. I genuinely don't care what I get out of it. Who are you? Oh, you were the person that was kidnapped from me in the Rule 5 draft pick. We can get rid of Jay Fisher. He doesn't really move the needle for me. And then John Ward here, you can be my middle reliever. Off we go. Oh dear. Well, so that's fun. I guess Cinders O'Brien, it's your time to shine. Now Cinders, did you cripple him? Did you get a baseball bat and repeatedly smash his you cheeky sod. I bet that's what you did. You're like, I want to help you lose your rotator cuff, wink wink. And he's like, I want to play in the majors now. Which, I mean, alright, I'll let Cinders O'Brien play. I'm not going to tell him no. He seems like a nice guy. How is De La Hanty enjoying the minor leagues? We don't have any information about him yet. That's fine. He is hitting 446. He is, again, on pace to have, be worth, 30 wins. But we're not going to be competitive this year. We're just not. I say that as I start rocketing up the standings. You're supposed to lose, damn it. Oh, Piggy Ward got best batter. Nice. Plus, his name is amazing, right? You can't argue with a man named Piggy Ward. You just can't. Okay. Everyone in the minors gets an extension. Do you want to keep my hitting coach? Yes. I do. On we go. I don't like how breathtakingly competent we've become all of a sudden. That's a little scary to me. Delahanty. You're not breaking through to the point where it's obvious that I should use you over Ely here. I mean, again, I don't see a point in rushing it. What is your deal, Cinders O'Brien? Are you being victimized by bad defense? Maybe. It's hard to say. It might be bad defense. I mean, we have a pretty good zone rating total. Who is dropping the ball? Possibly literally, but most likely metaphorically. Jumbo Davis is a really bad third baseman. Joseph Er's not great at second. Bill Gleason is fine. Okay, so second and third are certainly not solidified as options here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what's called a pro gamer move. I'm first of all going to figure out why the fuck you're showing me his pitching stats when I don't care. Actually, you wouldn't be that much better as a number 2 hitter. Gleason, yes, would be the only one that I would consider replacing him with, but I'll tell you what. If we break into the top 3, man, I could get Pud Galvin on my team, though. And all you're asking for is pitchers that are better than he is. Pass. As cool as you are. I think it's automatically increased injuries, which I'm fine with if it has. I won't have a backup catcher for a while. Do I have another catcher? I sure don't. Can I trade Dwyer for a catcher? I could get me some Doc Kennedy. Or some Rooney Sweeney. Or some Jim O'Rourke. Doc seems to offer the best combination of okay offense and pretty good defense, so I'm going to go ahead and trade for him. And then I'm going to instantly promote him to the big leagues to be my new backup catcher. So here's kind of where we're trapped right now, and it's a very odd feeling, but it is a feeling. We are doing much better than expected this season. Like, a lot better. We're hovering around 500. So the question becomes, if I call up Delahanty, is that going to be enough to help us make the playoffs this season? And the answer to that question is almost certainly no. But I need to keep a very close eye on things and see. Okay, I'm starting to lose real bad again. Never mind. I don't want him. Please stop offering me bullpen guys. I just really don't care at this point. No, Pud Galvin got traded. Charlie Hoover. Why do I care about Charlie Hoover? Oh, because it was against me. Well, whatever. Player development. Jumbo Davis got a bit better. There we go. Here's the leap forward. Delahanty is becoming insanely good, and he will definitely be a left fielder next season for my team. Well, I guess I could make him a second baseman if I was desperate, but I think he'd just be better as a left fielder. Zimmer can come back. Why not? And we end the regular season. Like, I'm going to get a top 10 pick. I should still get a really quality player. Did anything go particularly well for this team this season? I wonder. Well, let's start by looking at my batting ratings. Or my batting stats, rather. Offensively, Ed McKean was great. Piggy Ward was fine. And a bunch of other people contributed in various ways. Jumbo Davis improved significantly offensively. And he was a dumpster fire as a third baseman. He's a borderline MVP candidate if he played any position but third base and didn't play it so badly. Good old Bones here did a decent bit of pitching, but again, you're not giving me the stats I want. He was acceptable, but he's going to get replaced without question. Joseph Herr was bad. Real bad. And I'm wondering if his best role might not be backup. Because he was the drizzling shit as a second baseman, which is supposed to be his best position. That is an area that needs to be fixed. Cinders did okay. And I know his ERA is quite high, but as we notice here, he's a ground ball pitcher that had one of the worst second basemen in the major leagues. And a pretty bad third baseman on top of that. So that's going to be an area to correct in the offseason. Egyptian Healy, I don't know what to do about you, except to say that you were actually arguably even worse. You just can't throw strikes consistently. So I think it's time we find a new starter to replace you. Yes. That's where we are right now. That is definitely where we are. And as we enter our second season in this episode, we'll begin to think about what our next step might be. Obviously, Ed Delahanty is the one thing we definitely want to take care of. I mean, Nat Hudson should probably be a starter at this point. I think he's proven all he can in the minors. I think we make him a starting pitcher, maybe. We retired Bill Stern's number, but why? This doesn't make any sense to me. He pitched for me for one... Oh, no, wait. He did pitch for Brooklyn earlier on in his career. But I mean, you would think Detroit would retire his number, right? Oh, well. Oh, regular season, please. There we go. Yeah, I mean, Bill Stearns is a first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. Why on earth do we retire Jack Manning's number? Wow, we certainly are handing out Retired numbers. Gross. Oh, let's definitely get ourselves a draft pool announcement. I want to see who we might be able to take. There aren't as many clearly great players in this draft. And I'm only going to be picking 7th overall. Is there going to be a great player by the time I hit? Okay, there's Cy Young and Kid Nichols. So definitely pitching seems to be a bit stronger in this draft. George Davis. I would draft him in a heartbeat and stick him at third base. I don't think Davis falls to me, though. I think we're probably looking at this range of players here. From Billy Rhines as a starting pitcher up to Bob Glenalvin as a second baseman, who would actually be a decent improvement over her, I think. But we'll think about that when the draft actually happens. Let's see. I got a gold glove for Ed McKean. Very nice. I got a silver slugger for Ed McKean. Even better. So at least Ed McKean seems like he's a pretty solid player. Oh, do I have it set here so that all teams have to be represented on the All-Star team? That's under options, I think. No, I didn't have it that way. Shame. But here we are. I didn't win any of the other awards, and I shouldn't have. I had some MVPs in the minors, though. That's kind of fun. Do I have to wait for Bill Stearns, or can I vote for him this season? I can't remember how I set that up. No, we have to wait. That's fine. Art Allison, no. Just don't even come at me with this. I have less than 1,000 hits. Bullshit. Let me into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I mean, none of these players are that good. They just aren't. There's literally no one here I would consider voting for. I mean, maybe Ezra Sutton, who at least had a fairly accomplished career. But I mean, look, he was decent. Yeah, I'm going to submit an empty ballot. There's nobody there that I think deserves to be added to the Hall of Fame. Alright, it's draft time. What might we be able to get? George Davis would be an amazing choice. But I'm going to go ahead and auto draft for the first two teams. If George Davis isn't taken in the first two picks, I would be shocked. He hasn't been taken yet. There he goes. I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to sim up to me. Cy Young just went. I could take the other Hall of Fame starting pitcher and Kid Nichols. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I am really struggling to look at a player like Kid Nichols and deciding to take literally anybody else. Like, there's some really great shortstops. Don't get me wrong. Oh, please give me my scout's opinion. Yes. Just done. Give me Kid Nichols, please. I will instantly put him in the major leagues. I could then draft Billy Rhines and let him develop a bit in the minors to have another starting pitcher that's quite nice. The thing is, all the second basemen here are also terrible at second base. Yeah, second and third are the positions I really need help with. I could pick Will Smalley, who's very good defensively and gets on base a lot. He's pretty raw, but he could be someday an intriguing player. Vince Daly is a great hitter without a position. I will take Billy Rines instead and just let him develop in the minors. John Kelty, Willie McGill. He is 16. Let's just go whole hog on starting pitchers just so that I have other options in the minors. And then a couple of catchers in the minors wouldn't go amiss. Malachi Kittredge or Morgan Murphy. I actually like Kittredge a little bit better. He's got a little bit more of a quality offensive perspective to him. And then I'm gonna let my scouting director fill out the rest of my draft. All right, I think this is the season we're gonna try to make a move. Kid Nichols is gonna be my ace for sure. Cinders O'Brien will be a number 2 pitcher. I won't have to pitch Egyptian Healy's terrible ass again. I mean, we got a lot of talent in this draft, and I think we've papered over some of our holes. Our biggest issue is going to be the third base conundrum, which is, do I take a good hitter who can't field or a good fielder who can't hit? And I really don't know the answer to either of those questions. The question I do know the answer to is, am I going to put anybody on the 40-man now? And the answer to that question is no. I shan't. I do have 3 catchers. I don't really need 3. Kennedy's a little bit better as a hitter. Crowley's a much better defender, though. Do I trade Charles Zimmer to see someone to give me a third baseman? Like one who doesn't suck? I'm getting a lot of offers. Most of them aren't very good offers, but I am getting offers. Jack Leeson, you're awful at third base. Please no. Phil, you're good at third base, but you can't hit. I'm looking for someone who can do both. You're good at getting on base, but if you can't even hit 200, you're doomed in the majors, especially in this era. I'm not taking Lefty Marback. I don't want Tony Mullane just because he knows where third base is on the diamond. Dude Easterbrook is potentially a solution at third base. Like, I know he doesn't hit well, but if he hits even somewhat close to Major League average, he's a really great player. He's in the maybe pile. Not John Rainey. Not Art Whitney. Not George Pinkney. Billy Schindel can't hit, but he can play third. He can pick him. So that's... I guess maybe I have an unreasonable request, but I kind of want someone who doesn't suck at hitting, but who can also play third. I am more than content to keep Charles Zimmer as the backup to end all backups. You know, let's trade Doc Kennedy. Let's see if this moves the needle for third base. Do we get any better offers? Actually get worse offers. Okay. Can I get a better second baseman? You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. I mean, Joe Gerhardt is an incredibly amazing second baseman, and if he even hits 250, we're asking too much. But you know what? At least it gives me a really great backup, and I'd rather have a backup catcher that's really good than a third, or I'd rather have a really good second baseman than a third catcher that I actually don't need. Alright, are you ready to not see any big change? Oh yeah, that's right, I am expected to do this, aren't I? I'm just gonna say, just complete the draft. There's nobody here I care about. If anyone made the Hall of Fame this season, I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed. Oh, I missed Al Spalding somehow? I mean, Al Spalding wasn't great, but he's one of those guys that you induct because of his contributions to the game of baseball, not because he was a great player, which he certainly wasn't. He was the first person I ever selected. I do have great sentimental value. I really hope Lip Pike doesn't make the Hall of Fame. Like, as our first hitter, a player that's this bad making it, ooh. I know he's been a manager for a while, so maybe that's why they would vote him in. But that's pretty yikes, my dudes. Alright. So I'm going to instantly, once spring training starts, I'm going to promote 2 people. I'm going to promote Kid Nichols, and I'm going to promote Ed De La Hanty. And then we'll look and see about other players who might want to improve. Here's some off-season training. Bill Gleason's a bit better. Kid Nichols is now throwing harder, which is just insane. De La Hanty's just improved his overall rating because just like, oh yeah, baseball. I know how that works. I know how a lot of this works. Okay. Are we ready to add... Okay, what the fuck, game? What in the holy hell would convince you I would want someone like Kid Nichols as a fucking reliever? Why? Just... Some of the decisions this AI makes, my friends, I don't get it. I don't get how you can be that stupid. I just don't. I don't want Small... I mean, I guess that's as good as Smalley's ever going to get. And I am overrun with second basemen who are mediocre. I guess at least having Will Smalley gives me a really great defensive third baseman. We'll figure something out. Here, you can... Let's just fill up this spring training roster, right? Let's just crowd this shit up. Anyone with any sense of any talent, high 40s or above. You know what? Kittredge... Long, all of you. Alright. Hugh Duffy as number 2 I don't love, but I'm not going to complain about it right now. Okay, game. I'm going to start strangling people if you don't stop giving me the OSA version of scouting. It's like, why do I even bother paying my people, right? Oops, I didn't set the pitching staff. Sorry, game. Definitely give me the staff here. Wow, you are selling out Burt Cunningham at an alarming rate. Like, I don't care about the rest of the starters, but... Damn. Alright. Dude, you are fucking delusional if you think I'd give you Ed De La Hanty. I do want Bid McPhee, though. No De La Hanty. What else could I offer you? You want Jumbo Davis for a second baseman that's actually competent? Or Egyptian... You know what? Take Egyptian Healy, please. Give me a tremendous second baseman that makes the rest of this team just better. Oh, I didn't put him on the roster yet, did I? Sorry, game. Yeah, we go from one of the worst second basemen in the majors to one of the best. I am over the moon with that trade. I don't know why they thought for even a tenth of a second I'd actually give him De La Hanty for that, but I definitely needed the help at second base. All right, let me make this painfully clear to you. Ready? Fuck off. Just stop bringing it up. Look, I want one of the best hitters in the game, and for that I will give you nothing. Afraid not. Afraid not. Alright. I'm going to clear some lineups and stuff. And we're going to build ourselves a team. Alright. Step 1. I have 14 pitchers. I want 10. I have no benefit to having more than 10. Al Mall, you at least have options left, so I'm going to go ahead and demote you. Burt Cunningham and Kid Gleason. Here, I'm going to send Kid Gleason down. I'm going to send Nate Hudson down. How many pitches that gives me? It gives me 10. 10 is all I want. Let's set the roster. I'm going to do 3-man rotation, and it's going to be Nichols, O'Brien, and Rhines in that order. Done. Relief pitchers. Can I just ask you to set the bullpen? Yeah, you can set the bullpen for me. I don't mind that. This is perfect. This is exactly what I want in a pitching staff, and I just need to make sure that Nichols and Rhines are both up. You both landed 40-man. Okie dokie. I need to reduce 5 hitters. Kittredge to the minors. I have a glut of second basemen. I don't need Mcaleer. I want her as the ultimate utility guy. That's the only reason I'm keeping him on the roster. Pop Smith, I'm just going to release you. Wahey, you hit for power, so you at least have some value as a pinch hitter. But if you're playing more than, say, 50 at-bats a season, you've been playing too many. I'm going to go ahead and demote Smalley. I need to dispose of one more player, and it's going to be Dan Long. Ed De La Hanty, you're on the roster. And let's build ourselves a lineup. Alright. Batting ratings, best contact hitter is McKean. So McKean, you're still going to be my number 3 hitter. De La Hanty doesn't have a ton of power, but he has a ton of gap power, and he could develop that elite power level. So I guess De La Hanty as cleanup does make some sense. And then Hugh Duffy. I don't love Duffy as a leadoff hitter. I like Duffy as a number 2, actually. But he's the second best power hitter on the team. He's the best power hitter on the team. I kind of think I want to hit him 5th. All right. Jumbo. Piggy Ward is my leadoff guy. He's too good at getting on base, and as long as he hits anywhere in the 250s, he'll be great. I guess Bill Gleason can be my number 2, because he at least hits for decent contact. I really don't want Jumbo Davis's annoying lack of ability to field hold this team back again. I've given him 2 seasons. He's been god-awful, both of them. And even though... I'm going to trade him now. I'm going to just trade Jumbo Davis and eliminate this problem. I want the best player you'll give me for him. Because, yeah, I don't want Jumbo Davis anymore. Scott Stratton is a really good pitcher, actually. He throws surprisingly hard for this era in history. Oh, but then you offer me people like Lee Vau? People really prize Jumbo Davis. I want to make sure I'm getting my money's worth before I trade him. I don't really need second base right now. I could use third base, though. Hell, a player like Bill Kuhn would be a wonderful choice. He's a decent hitter who plays third base way better than... Yeah, give me Bill Kuhn. Easy. That was one of the easiest decisions I've ever made. He's just better. Alright, let's sort by contact again. And now Bill Kuhn becomes a very attractive 6th place hitter. Yeah, I don't know why anyone wouldn't trade for him over Jumbo Davis's gapingly horrible glove. Then I have to pick a catcher, and I guess it might as well be Crowley. No, you know what? Like, I know Bid McPhee is terrible at contact, but that's the only... No, we're gonna let Bid McPhee bat 7th, and then Crowley will bat 8th. That looks good, and I'm gonna go ahead and let my person do backup stuff. Really? Like, no. I don't want Zimmer playing that frequently. And then let's go ahead and copy, and then switch, and paste, Lovely. I like her as a super utility guy. I think that's his best role in the majors, is that he plays a lot of places and does okay at all of them, but maybe not brilliantly at any of them. My friends, this could be a potentially terrifying roster. We're putting a lot of pressure on De La Hanty, but I think he can manage it. Like, even right now, I expect him to hit close to 400. And when he can start layering on power to that, oh. The heart of our order is potentially extremely scary. And we have one of the best leadoff men in the bigs, and then we've got a very capable shortstop who can hit number 2. And keep things moving along. Even Bill Kuhn was a massive improvement over what we had at third base. And even if we just get like a league average bat out of him, I'm getting his glove, which is much more important to me. Yeah, he's a bad shortstop, but he shouldn't have been playing a shortstop to begin with. He should be a third baseman. All right, I like it. Am I going to predict the playoffs this season? No. But I think we'll actually do better than 500 this season. A bit of a dip for some players. McKean got worse kind of across the board, but only by a tiny bit. Same with Duffy. And then other things happen too. The Duffy problem is going to be if he stops, if he can't handle center, which I think he can, but he's so decent at all of these different positions that I'm pretty happy with just leaving him in center to figure it out. Top prospects: Delahanty number 1, Nichols number 7. I love it. Let's go to the next month. Man, we are seesawing back and forth. Why are we still so terrible? I mean, her got better. Great for him, but... Is this just one of those things where we're just off to a really crappy start? Oh, yeah. Nobody is hitting all of a sudden. This will fix itself. I'm not even going to acknowledge this as a bad start. I'm just going to ignore it and continue onward. Maybe think about firing my hitting coach in the off season. Kid Nichols is getting a bit better, which you like to see. Ryan's got a bit better. Some decent stuff is happening here. Duffy, not so much. If I look at... who is my rookie star? Kid Nichols. Okay. How's the hitting coming along now? We're getting closer, right? We're getting closer to where we should expect. But yeah, our entire offense is just not hitting this year. We've just gotta be patient with these younger players and let them cut loose. But let me be honest with you. Let's say the worst happens and we just bomb the season to an insane degree. That just gives me another great draft pick, and I can add another player who can transform things for us, right? By the way, if this doesn't improve significantly, Mr. Bahunin, you're fired. Be aware of that. Your job is on the line here. But I just signed you for 2 more years. Damn it. Team trainer, you've been doing fine. I will re-sign you. Pitching coach. How do you get along with the pitchers that matter most? Oh, you're a neutral pitcher. That's fine. I trust you. And how do you get along with people, Marvlin? Weird. Kid Nichols loves you. Cinders O'Brien doesn't. I mean, I don't really have a better choice. Unless Tim Goins. Ooh. Mr. Goinsy here. How would you get along with the Brooklyn Bridegrooms? Oh god, everyone would hate you. Okay. That's fine. I'll keep my assistant GM because why not? And I guess I will keep my bench coach too. I don't really see a big need to replace him just yet. Alright, let's go to the end of this month. I didn't forget, I can't control if my entire offense decides that hitting is optional. Like, owner dude, that is not a thing I can control. Cinders O'Brien's starting to make some improvements, as is Kid Nichols. You like to see that. McKean is dropping pretty drastically. Delahanty is getting better, which is nice. I can't complain about that. Piggy Ward continues to be Piggy Ward. Ben Conroy is proving to be a future backup shortstop. Ah, Brooklyn shut out Brooklyn. Well done, Brooklyn. I still have an entire team of players who aren't hitting. You know what? I don't know if this is going to make a difference or not, but I'm going to try it. You're fired. Barry Starkey, you're in. Is this going to make a difference? It probably won't, but I'm sure going to give it the old college try. Because that's unacceptable, that players with this raw talent are just not hitting. At all. Great. Yeah, I don't want your bad relievers in exchange for... I mean, George Haddock isn't bad. But no, I'm not interested in that, please. Kid Gleason is utterly dominating in the minors. I probably need to consider finding him a spot in the majors. Nope. I don't mind trading Joseph Herr if that's what it takes, but we're pretty bad. And at least some people are starting to hit again, which is nice. But yeah, Hugh Duffy in particular has just had just the worst offensive season that I could have imagined from him. I need more, dude. I need a lot more. I need to see baseballs explode into thousands of pieces every time you swing the bat. And then Bid McPhee has still been what we needed. But I think there's definitely room to improve. And maybe we need a new shortstop. Because, I mean, if you're not... Yeah, you're playing bad shortstop and you're not hitting. That's a pretty bad combination, right? That's about as bad as a combination gets. So, Billy Boy, I hope you can sort out your shit. Because if you can't, you're gone. Our defense has improved significantly thanks to Bid McPhee, so that part is good. I'm just going to go and end the regular season and end our suffering. De La Hante's starting to wake up a bit. Okay. I take it extremely personally, so go to hell. And I'm not going to trade you because I can't. Alright. Oh, nice. Gleason got a no-hitter. Very nice. Let's go ahead and just end the playoffs, and then we'll talk about how this season went. Like, I genuinely thought we had an off chance at the playoffs this season, and instead, the entire offense... I got fired. Okay. Okay. I'm actually kind of insulted by that. That is just utter bullshit that I got fired when my entire offense decided it would not hit this season. Fuck you. And I hope every single one of Brooklyn's players spontaneously combusts. Okay. Well, I was going to just end the episode, but I guess I got to find a new job. I did win the World Series. So technically, by the rules of this, I could pick any team I want. But... I've already played a Cleveland team. I don't really want to play another Cleveland team just yet. I could take over the Philadelphia Athletics. Reunite with my old pal Ed Swartwood. Maybe. Okay. This is not what I had anticipated. So I could definitely go to the A's. Alright, well, let's start wheedling these things down. First of all, Boston Reds, fuck you. You're only giving me a 3-year contract. Go to hell. Of these other teams, who is the most interesting to me? Oh, Cincinnati has a pretty insane amount of potential. But I also want somebody who's going to get a good draft pick, which would be the A's or the Spiders. Or the Phillies? I could take the Phillies. What do you folks have? You have Roger Connor. Good choice. I'm going to tell you what. The Phillies look awfully tempting. They've got a lot of really great pieces in place that should see them succeed sooner rather than later. And even if their pitching staff isn't great, like, they have great talent from top to bottom. I mean, I think Vince Daly's kind of trash. I think we could upgrade over him. But, like, Shorty Fuller, amazing shortstop. Mike Slattery, excellent center fielder. One of the best in the majors. Roger Connor, an all-around wonderful hitter who is on, like, the back end of his career and really shouldn't be playing in the field anymore, so we could trade him for some decent assets. Charlie Bennett, wonderful catcher, future Hall of Famer probably. The Phillies are kind of old, which is their big downfall, but they've also got some interesting pieces. And they're going to have the #1 overall pick. I think I go for the Phillies. Accept. All right, then. I'm pretty salty. I don't think I should have gotten fired for that last season when my entire offense decided that batting was optional. And the part that really annoys me is that I had built such a great core in Brooklyn. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think they're probably going to win a World Series in the next 2 to 3 years. They just needed more patience with me, and they didn't give it to me, and I'm pretty pissed about that. I'm very salty about how this season ended. I should not have been fired for that. I'm sure that the owner was mad I didn't find a hometown player. Like, who gives a fuck? I gave you an entirely new starting rotation. I gave you an incredible lineup full of talent from top to bottom. And look, just because Hugh Duffy decided to take a giant crap all over everything, you fired me. I'm not okay with that. And I hope you all suffer many defeats. But in all honesty, I genuinely think this team's got a really good shot to win the World Series in the next 3 seasons. It's so young. It's so talented. There's so much talent at every position. I think they're going to win the World Series in the next 5 seasons. I'm going to call that now. But who gives a fuck about them, right? We only care about the Phillies. And we've got a lot of work to do. No one would dispute that. But we have a pretty fair amount of talent. Not the least of which was Jim Whitney's insane season. Like, holy shit, my dudes. And yeah, we've got a lot of really great players, and I think this is just going to be about capitalizing on what we've got, and really making a smart pick in this next draft. Because if we look at our minor league system here, we have a lot of very talented players. I kind of feel bad for Bob Gilman Allen to play on this team of all teams, the one team where there's an arguably even better shortstop than him. But yeah, we've got some talent, and it's very raw talent. Don't get me wrong on that. And there is maybe a 2% chance that I end up keeping Roger Connor. Maybe. He's so good offensively, but his complete inability to play the field anymore is deeply distressing to me. But we'll figure something out. We've got 2 amazing catchers. Although, granted, Con Daly's not very good defensively, he sure packs a potent punch. There's a lot to like about this team. There's a lot to like. And I think it's just going to take us some time and some smart draft picks, and I think we will be in the playoffs sooner rather than later. Thank you for watching the series so far, and until next time, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.